It's about that time.
City Views, City Views.
What's happening in your city?
City Views, City Views. City Views, City Views.
You got love for your city?
City Views, City Views. City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views. Ah, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views, City Views.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of City Views. And we're here. It's ladies' night tonight.
Ladies' night. Ladies are taking over City Views.
We sure are.
We have my fabulous co-host Coryse and myself, Karen Thomas, and we have a guest that we're going to get to in a quick moment. But we've got some exciting things happening here.
We do, and I promise you we did not plan this.
Yes, we did. No.
It just so happened
kinda
that
just
it's all
pushed
ladies tonight.
Exactly. So we've got a great show lined up for you. Not only our fabulous guests that we have, okay, but we also have two call-ins tonight.
Yep.
Jacques is going to be calling in from a live event that he's doing tonight. Michelle Cook, State Representative Michelle Cook will be calling in, and we're going to be talking a lot about, ladies, listen up, the Wow Forum.
Wow Forum.
And this fabulous lady right here is one of the speakers at the Wow Forum.
Yes, I'm going to be speaking, and who's going to be our little MC here?
It will be me. I'll be the MC, but we are going to have a blast. But we really want to talk it up tonight because we want to make sure that all of you ladies out there are listening and you come to the Northwest Connecticut Chamber of Commerce Wow Forum on Friday, October 6th. But
That's
enough
right.
of that right now. Coryse is going to go to our sponsor.
Yes, so let me just put my spectacles on
Yes, you
here.
put those on, and she's going to look it up, and we'll shout them out.
We have some big city sponsors to shout out today. Toth Insurance Agency, 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. His phone number is 860-496-7771. And he can be reached at tothins@optonline.net. And we also have Mel Brickman and Health Market, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel.
I got it.
That's right. And his phone number is 860-307-1128. And he can be reached at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. And next we have Brooks, Todd, and McNeil Insurance, 69 Water Street in Torrington, Connecticut, keeping an eye on your insurance needs since 1839. They can be reached at 860-598-8753, and their email address is brooktoddmcneil.com. Brooks, that is brookstoddmcneil.com. And we also have Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 860-482-8177, torringtonpediatrics.com. And that's all we have for our big cities shout-outs today.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And this show is made possible by our sponsors, so we want to thank them every week and profusely. And if you get a chance to visit any one of our sponsors, please do stop in and say that you heard about them on City Views, and I'm sure they would appreciate that.
They really would.
So how was your weekend?
It was rainy.
It was rainy big time.
Rainy and dreary, and honestly, I completely forgot about, it was a golf.
It was canceled.
It was canceled?
It was canceled.
Okay.
I
felt so bad.
The Food Bank had their golf tournament on Sunday, and it was rained out. However, we did have our dinner only, at night, so we had everybody. Huge turnout. Everybody
Wow.
came, they bought raffles, and I am very proud to say that we made $20,790.
Wow. That's really
So
great.
this was our first one. We want to shout out Tim Gaffney, who helped coordinate this event for us. So Friendly Hands Food Bank had a very successful golf tournament, even though we didn't golf. So,
but it was a success.
It
so
was a
that's
success, so that's good. But
Good,
let's enough about us, Coryse.
Oh.
Let's get to our fabulous guest.
Let's move on to our
We
guest.
have Renee, and she is the CEO, Executive Director of, right, the Northwest Connecticut Food Hub.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
All right, so I'm very, very excited to have you on. So tell us, what is a food hub? Just explain to us.
Okay, great question. So the Food Hub, we are a nonprofit organization, and we work with over 30 farmers throughout the Northwest corner and Middlesex County, and we aggregate our food and we distribute to either other nonprofit organizations like Friendly
us.
Hands, food pantries, schools, just completely mission driven. And so our point of the Food Hub is that we are farmer forward. Like, for example, a lot of organizations are for more towards, not to say humanitarian as we are humanitarian, but we put the farmers first because that's one of the toughest jobs that you can ever have on the face of this earth. Speaking of, I am a farmer as well.
Are you really?
I
Isn't that
am.
crazy?
I don't have a
amazing.
green thumb to save your life.
That's
I
okay.
I kill plants,
I
too.
can't even keep orchids alive.
No,
Yeah.
oh my God, that's the worst. But see, now you're being a farmer gives you an advantage of knowing what they go through because you are one of them,
Exactly,
right? So
exactly.
that's 365, okay, 24/7. That's not, geez, I feel I'm not going to go feed the cows or do whatever.
Exactly.
And so you know from that perspective, and then also from the perspective of getting the food out as well through this initiative. So
Right,
you really
right.
have a great vision on
Right.
what you're doing.
Right. And yeah, like I said before, it's very farmer forward, very farmer driven. Every single decision that is made is consulting with all of the teams of the farmers that are on board.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
again, we don't promote exactly the Food Hub. We promote all of the farmers that we work
That's
with.
good because I mean, I've heard in the past that farming has become such a struggle, like a struggling career and a struggling sector over the years. So that's a very nice initiative.
And it's so important just to really focus on kind of revisiting our local food sector and the amount of nutrient-dense food that comes from your local farm that goes to your plate is food. It's food is medicine.
Oh, and it is a healthy food, that is.
healthy food.
So talk to us about some of the current initiatives with your organization that are making the highest impact with the surrounding communities in Northwest Connecticut.
So one of the greatest things that we're doing right now is Farm to School, which is really great. We're working with, I want to say about 16 public schools throughout Northwest Corner. Torrington, Litchfield, Goshen, Morris, Region 1, which is Salisbury, Lakeville, all up there, Canaan,
Cornwall,
Cornwall.
all of them, right.
Yeah, and so that's just been a huge push to be able to get that local food onto the kids' plates for breakfast and lunch, and not
amazing.
just during what we think of as the farming season, so
Right, like
late summer
right,
or even
right.
fall, even all the way through the winter. So we're working with some really incredible farms, like for example, CT Food for Thought, which is another one that's in Torrington itself. They provide fresh lettuce year round, and a multitude of other farms. They have greenhouses that are up and are able to produce year round to really harvest and get these kids all the fresh food that they need.
That's good.
So it's being a mom, as both of you are
Yes,
as well,
yes.
we know how important is breakfast and lunch
Yeah.
is.
Right.
So to be able to know when we send our kids to school that they're getting a local apple, that's grown, 3 minutes down the road, or their carrots or their mashed potatoes are all super hyper local.
That's amazing,
So-
because I was talking yesterday, as a matter of fact, with one of the ladies that's in the Torrington Middle School cafeteria, and she was saying to me that she was amazed. She just started this year. She was amazed at the amount of local food that is so healthy for them. Like they offer, apples cut up and peppers and things like with a little dip and all. She says this is all local. It's all organic. She says, and it's healthy. She says, it's not your, she says, if you remember, and she knows how old I am, that, you know, we used to get, you know, it's 29, but okay. But, you know, that we used to get the processed food, and, you know, it's not like that. We're getting actual fruits and vegetables that these kids are now getting exposed to, not just at home, but at school. You know, so that gives them a healthy attitude, maybe at picking healthier choices instead of just, you know, the chips and the whatever.
And
so
it's good to get local fruits and vegetables that aren't like picked before they're ripe, or you know, picked so early because they have to travel to get to the grocery store, and then by the time it gets to you, it has no flavor.
No, I know.
No, within 24 hours.
Wow.
It's picked from the fields into the cafeteria.
That's perfect.
Which is amazing. And then another program that's great is that we're working with 16 food pantries as well throughout the Northwest corner, and we're providing on a weekly basis a multitude of fresh produce at no cost to the food pantries, and the farmers are getting paid a fair price for their produce. So it's just really been we've hit all of the bells and whistles that we wanted to, you know, over the past. It's been about 6 years that, you know, we started the Northwest Connecticut Food Hub, and every year we're just being really embraced by the community, and our initiatives are really starting to take off, which is something that I never could have dreamed of.
Right,
So.
but you know, it's an amazing thing. And to talk from a food pantry standpoint, we at Friendly Hands, so when she called us back in, you know, the beginning of the year and said, you know, this is the budget, you guys are going to get fresh fruit and blah, 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 you get to order each week. My first thought was, well, what do we want to do with this? Do we just want to put it in the orders, or what do we want to do? So we instituted a free for our clients only, but free farmers market. And as you know, you were delivering for a time up at the church when we were doing it, and our clients went nuts for this. Absolutely crazy. They loved that we would give them a bag, and we'd say, is whatever you could put in the bag is what you'll get. And these clients, a lot being seniors on a fixed income, were coming up there every single day, and you even helped out in several of them, and they were just so excited to have this. It was like going to, and I'm not going to say a grocery store name, but a real grocery store, but being able to get that food that maybe they couldn't afford because it was there through a food pantry. So that was a genius move for you to get that food out to those people that might not be able to afford, you know, shopping or getting as much. So that was a huge, huge hit. So thank you for that.
Yeah, well, as you being a CEO director of Friendly Hands, you understand what it's like to have your clients come in and want to pick and choose what they want.
And that was one of the reasons we did it that way. Instead of, you know, we always just, you know, some potatoes, some carrots, you know, in a thing, and rather letting them have the choice. It also brings a dignity factor as well. You know, letting them shop for what they want. Now, we had to end it at the end of August. We had to end it because of manpower on our end. But we didn't end from you. We're still getting it, but we are having it at the actual food bank for them to choose. We just didn't do it on the public basis. But so tell us what lays on the horizon going forward with Northwest Connecticut Food Hub.
Oh my gosh, so our goal is to continue to work with more farmers to be able to uplift the food insecure, to be able to reach to different school systems, as well as be able to grow our ag sector in the Northwest Connecticut, which is such a bucolic area with so much farmland. And so the goal is to have more young farmers come to our area, be able to grow rich, abundant food, and be able to work with different organizations, not only to keep and draw young families in, but to also address food security at the same time.
That's
so
amazing.
The more that we all work together to lift up this mission, the better off we're going to be. It takes a team, and it takes a village.
It does.
It really does. But again, too, going back to the fact that, you know, let's face it, our economy is up, down. 1 week eggs are, you know, $12 a dozen. Next week they're $3, but the cereal is $15 or whatever. You know, and I'm being a bit facetious with these.
Kind of, not really.
But not really, right? Okay. And with the economy, you know, it's crazy. So having this available to a food pantry, and again, I'm biased because I run a food pantry, but I mean, you know, having that available to those people who don't normally have access is huge. And like you said, food
Right.
is medicine.
Right.
And a lot of our seniors are just thrilled
Right.
with that because they are able to access that.
Right. And we're also, just really quick, we're also working with Charlotte Hungerford Hospital and a handful of dietitians.
Oh, fabulous.
What's called Produce RX, and we're in year 4. And we curate a special weekly box for over 13 weeks over
Wow.
the summer and into the fall. And I really hope to continue that program in whatever fashion or whatever it looks like in the future. But there's just so much hope out there for the food and the growing and all the good that you both are doing as well.
Well, now you know what? Renee, Northwest Connecticut Food Hub, she's the CEO and Executive Director. It was our pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
We will have you on again very soon, maybe as we get into the winter months. So you could
Beautiful.
tell us a little bit about, like, you know, what farming is like in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
But again, ladies and gentlemen, this amazing lady right here is feeding Connecticut, and I don't say just Northwest Connecticut, but she's feeding Connecticut, and she's giving us healthy, fabulous food, so our hats off to you.
Oh, thank you both. I really appreciate you taking the time.
Absolutely.
To have me on.
Well, thank you for coming.
You're
and,
welcome.
We will have you on again soon.
Great. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, you know, going into the next little bit of our show here, we definitely have some exciting things coming up. I guess Jacques is going to be calling in soon.
Yes, Jacques is going to be calling in. I believe he's at an event at Cole Park. Is that right?
Yes. Now, what is that event? Is it Susan B. Anthony? I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Okay,
Yes.
I thought
yes.
that's what he said.
Yep.
So he's going to be calling in soon. They'll let us know when he calls in. But in the meantime, you know, it's been one of those things that I've noticed that, you know, this weather has really been a problem with like people's like mental health.
Honestly,
and
I the
depression
last couple dreary days, I don't like dark and dreary.
No.
And right away I put the heat on.
Yes.
I had
Oh,
to.
yes.
I
Yeah.
had to.
Yeah.
And just to make me feel like some warmth somewhere.
Alive. Alive.
Yeah.
And
Oh, my
isn't that
goodness.
funny? Because, you know, I too, my husband, I'm the one that runs around the house that goes, don't touch the heat, don't put it on, don't put on a blanket, put on a sweatshirt, we're not turning the heat on. And to that last minute, but I have to say, I did touch we have in our bedroom, we have one of those electric fireplaces where you just
Yeah.
push the button, and it does throw off heat. But I'm telling you, I did put that on a couple times this past weekend. So.
Oh, I put the heat on in the house. My hubby wasn't too happy, but
Looking at
I
the
had
clock going,
to.
why?
Yeah.
Why are you putting it on now? I know, my husband's like, can
I'm
you
like, the
imagine?
house is 65 degrees. It's cold and wet and damp outside.
Right? But you know what? It really does play, unfortunately, it plays a major role in our mental health, you know, that kind of stuff. And you know what? It really is not something that we really want to look into. And I know there's, it was called SAD, Seasonal Affective Disorder.
Yeah.
A lot of people get that.
I'm going to have to say that I get
Yeah,
that
I mean,
several
depressed.
times. And I find myself very short with people
Yeah.
and and what?
Yes, yes,
Leave me
yes.
alone.
Yes.
And I do not like to be cold
No, I
at
don't
all.
either.
And it's one thing cold outside, but
Right.
I feel like when I'm inside my house, I don't want to be layered anymore.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I'm layered outside, inside
now
my
you're
house.
in the
I-
hou-
I don't need to be layered.
And
as well.
it's hard, you know, so people out there, I think, you know, if you're going through the same thing and this is what you're experiencing, we're all experiencing it.
Yeah.
It's not just you. And, you know, the weather does play a lot on it. And, you know, especially with vitamin D, when it's sunny out, I always try to go outside and sit for, you know,
Yes.
20, 15 minutes,
Get
whatever
your
a day
dose of vitamin
to
D
get
in.
that vitamin D. I do take vitamin D pills. But again, you know, it does affect, and I feel much better
Yeah.
once I go outside. So again, if you're experiencing that seasonal affective disorder, you're not alone. The weather's not helping, the rain and all of that, but we can only hope that I hear the Farmer's Almanac says that we are going to get like a huge pounding of snow. So let's hope that that's not it. So
I have heard that. I've heard it's going to be a cold,
cold, dreary, wet, snowy
dreary.
winter. But with that, I understand that Jacques is on. So
Oh,
we're going to go
yeah.
right here. And we are going to say, welcome, Jacques. How are you?
Just fine this evening, ladies. How are you?
We're good. It's woman power over here.
Yes.
I can feel the energy coming over the phone lines.
Well, you
It's
could probably hear us down where you are in Co Park. You could probably hear me at least.
I just hear sentiments of Helen Reddy's "I Am Woman." Hear me roar.
Yeah, we're roaring, all right. So, Jacques, tell us where you are and what you are doing out and about.
Well, I'm in Co Park tonight for an event presented by the Connecticut Task of Opiate Task Force.
Ah, okay.
And this is the second of two events that they annually have. One is, well, they're both wellness in the park, but one focuses on testimonies of family and friend members who have lost loved ones to addiction and overdose.
Oh, okay.
And the second event, which we're here tonight, is celebrating recovery.
Oh,
Okay.
fabulous.
So, yeah, they have a couple of events that they're doing. They did a drum circle a little while ago, and then they have they're doing a kind of a chi energy kind of thing now, just to show people or give people techniques on how they can deal with the stress of what they're going through in these situations, and how they can share that with others through these types of activities.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So is there a good turnout down in Co Park?
It's not a bad turnout. I
Okay.
wish there were more people here, but the ones that are here, they're getting the benefits of the information and the spirit of the event that's being presented tonight.
That's great. Honestly, Jacques, I blame it on the weather why people aren't out. I mean, the grass is so wet. I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons. I mean, they canceled a lot of sporting activities this afternoon for the kids. So I'd imagine people are, the thought of just walking in and stomping through wet grass wasn't quite appealing, but.
Well, I got to be honest with you, too. Something told me to go out and purchase a jacket tonight, and I was thinking, that's so cheesy. But I'm glad I did, because it's getting nippy quick.
Yes, it is.
And we were just talking about that just before you came on, seasonal affective disorder, where people, their emotions and their emotional state and depression seems to creep in when it's dreary, rainy, and, the weather is bad. And I think a lot of us are suffering from that. So again, the weather has changed so quickly, and it's been so rainy that, it really affects a lot of people.
Well, we fortunately, and one of the speakers tonight did touch upon that. He said that initially he wasn't sure if he was looking forward to the event, but when the sun came out, that kind of improved his spirits and put him back in the right frame of mind to come down here and share. So, those things, unfortunately, they do affect us, but the more aware we are of them and the more we're willing to share with each other, it helps gets us through those situations so that we can maximize those moments.
That's fabulous. So we're glad that you have a good turnout there tonight. We're hoping that the weather holds out for you and that you stay warm with your fuzzy new coat. Does it have fur around the collar? Is it a furry coat? Come on, I want the fashion lowdown.
You know why he's laughing? Because it probably is.
I was stuck because, I'm like, I'm usually not making a purchase of that magnitude this time of the year. But I said, let me just, go something with a little simple, something that, I can kind of breeze through, and then I'll upgrade the wardrobe a little later on in the season.
That sounds good. Well, there you have it. You have Jacques Williams live from the Opiate Task Force event being held this evening, as a matter of fact, right now, at Co Park in Torrington with a live update. We want to thank you for joining us, Jacques, even though you're usually here, but calling in and letting us know what's going on. And we're going to go right next, Jacques, to our sponsors and thank them for their support.
I have Maria Skinner-Coutant here. If you guys want to hear a word from her right quick.
I would love
Sure.
that. If she's near you, put her on. Absolutely.
Okay. Bringing to the City Views audience, ladies and gentlemen, Maria Coutant-Skinner.
Hi.
Maria,
How are you?
it's great to have you. You are live on City Views. This is Karen Thomas.
And Coryse Villarouel.
So how are you? And tell us about what's going on down there.
Oh, it's such a special evening. We're celebrating all of the gifts of recovery, and what a beautiful, welcoming community that celebrates belonging and each person's individual pathway to wellness. It's really joyful. It's hopeful. There's a lot of things to celebrate.
Well, that's
what we're
amazing.
doing tonight.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you, despite the weather, we were saying with Jacques, it's a little bit nippy down there. We're glad that you have a good turnout. And what the work that you do, Maria, is so important to so many people all across the state of Connecticut. And we're just thrilled that we were able to have you on live tonight, even though Jacques is not here, but through the magic of TV and cell phones, bring you on to give us an update. Why don't you give us some more information about your organization, if you could, how people can get in touch with you, the website and what have you.
Oh, that's wonderful. So tonight's it's a consortium of providers all coming together. It's called the Litchfield County Opiate Task Force. McCall Center, it's my own agency, and I just used the wrong term.
Ah.
There's been a lot of different things. People just sometimes say McCall, which is fine, but it's McCall Behavioral Health Network. But we co-chair the task force, and together with Charlotte Hungerford Hospital and a bunch of other wonderful community organizations. I think it's one of the things that makes our community so special is that we work so well collaboratively, and I think people in need feel that. There's not sort of these sharp elbows about, who's going to be helpful. We're going to work collaboratively to let folks know that in those really dark moments when they don't know where to turn, they're scared, or they're really worried about their family member, that you've got an entire community that can wrap you up and say, you're not alone in this. So the website for the task force is LCOTF.org. That stands for Litchfield County Opiate Task Force, LCOTF.org. And then for McCall specifically, that's McCallBHN.org. So MCCALLBHN.org.
That's fabulous. Well, again, Maria, you're doing fabulous work, and you hit the nail on the head by saying collaborations. And I feel as another agency, collaborations are key, because if we all do just our own thing and we don't collaborate, it doesn't help anyone. But together we can all work strongly.
That's it.
That's
You
it. Well,
got it, Karen.
fabulous.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for appearing tonight, again, via The Voice on City View, and we hope you have a great night.
I love City Views. I love your theme song. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And I'm sure we can schedule her to be on the show here in the not-too-distant future as well. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Jacques, thank you for calling in. This was quite a treat. And Michelle is scheduled to call in at 6:30, correct, Jacques?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll be talking with State Representative, but we're going to go to our sponsors again.
Thank you guys so much. You were the best. Love you.
Love
Love
you.
you.
Bye. Alrighty, so you got the update direct from Jacques, which
Yeah.
I think that's so neat, isn't it, though, that like they can call in and
Yeah.
from events that are going on like right now.
I love it.
And that, we can hear. And Maria Coutant-Skinner is an amazing woman who does so much for the community, especially at McCall's. And I know she said, this is the Opiate Task Force event tonight, but she is a big part of that as well. So we're really lucky. Northwest Connecticut is.
When I was a teen, it was the McCall Foundation,
Right.
I believe at the time.
Yes.
And they had a program where it was like you got paid. So it was a paid program for teens to attend.
Okay.
We didn't work, but we were paid to learn about drugs and alcohol, to learn about stress. And it was such a great program. My brother was an artist at the time. He loved drawing, and he designed a couple of their buttons.
Oh,
and one
neat.
button that he designed was, it looked like a golden doodle dog with long, it actually looked like I'm not sure, maybe a golden doodle, but,
Okay.
and a tear running down the face, and it said, "Don't do drugs." Yeah, I mean, and he won the button contest.
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
But I would never forget that program. To me, that was the best summer of my teen years.
Oh, see, that's great.
Yeah.
But see, that's a memory, but it was also in doing good, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, before we get to the bottom of the hour, I'm going to talk about our additional sponsors, and they are Dawn's Getaway, 24 Winsted Road in Torrington, Connecticut. Christie's Restaurant, 545 Winsted Road, Torrington, Connecticut. Health Insurance Services, 438 Main Street in Torrington as well. Wall and Fraunhofer, 117 Main Street in Torrington. SOL or Soul Latina Cafe at 31 Hungerford Street, as well as Jimmy's Store, 1238 East Main Street in Torrington. 5 Points Arts Center, 855 University Drive in Torrington, and of course George's Music, 905 New Harwinton Road in Torrington. So these amazing sponsors allows us to be here tonight and doing the fantastic things that we're doing, letting people know about events that are going on right now, this week, and throughout the time that we are here, and keeping people updated.
That's right.
Absolutely. Right. So Michelle's not there yet, so we've got a few minutes to chit chat.
Chit chat.
So,
a little dabble here and there.
Yeah, a little dabble there, and we'll like I said, I don't want to take the whole thing for WOW, but the Women of the World Forum. Right here in Northwest Connecticut, and it has been, I can't tell you how many years it's been.
19.
Is it 19?
19
See,
years.
you knew that. So 19 years that they've been putting this on at the Northwest Connecticut Chamber of Commerce. I'm telling you, Joanne at the Chamber, Joanne Ryan, she does a phenomenal job. And I've attended several years, and last year I was a speaker, and this year I'm the MC. But I mean, it brings together, again, talking about collaborations, such an amazing group of women. Not all are leaders. Some are entrepreneurs. Some are just business owners. And I mean, there's not a specific difference, but it brings us all together and makes us all feel as one, and that is the theme of their WOW this year is we're all in this together.
All in this together.
Yes.
I am excited, and I just can't wait for this event.
Yes,
Last year, I have to
blast.
say, I wanted to go so bad. I wanted
Okay.
to attend this event.
Okay.
And the job I had at the time, I was told no.
Oh, okay.
That I couldn't attend this event, even though I said it would be a professional development. And it was what I needed at the time.
Right.
I was so stressed out. I felt like I was hitting a brick wall, and I felt I needed this camaraderie with other women.
Absolutely.
And just to listen and to hear some useful information and
Different
insights.
aspects.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I find, I have a therapist. He does my hair, and I laugh about it, but when I go to the hairdresser, I talk to him, and we talk, and like I feel so much better, not only because he got rid of the hair, but that I was able to talk.
That's natural. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, it's all natural. I'm still, like you said, I'm 29. Renee said so. But again, we have that day at the WOW Forum where you're going to meet all day long. You're going to have all these different speakers from various backgrounds, and one of the speakers is, I don't know if you watch NBC Today Show, but Willie Geist, and I don't think he's there anymore, but Willie Geist's wife is going to be there. She's going to be one of the speakers. She's phenomenal. She's an author, so she is going to be one of the speakers, and it's going to be a wonderful day. Of course, you're going to be there talking about your specialty, which is?
Human rights, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which I stumbled upon last year,
Right.
and it has been life-changing learning about this declaration.
And let me say this to you. I only learned about it, Coryse, through you.
Really?
So when you told me about it, and then you and I have traveled a bit, together, and now that I know about this, I know you're going to blow the audience away with what you're going to tell them, because this is a subject that very few people know.
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. Not everybody is aware of it.
No.
And they're used to the Declaration of Independence. This is
That's
something
right.
totally different. So, ladies, if you are out there, please go to www.wowforum.org and sign up. There is still time to sign up. Early registration is over, but you can still sign up, I believe, until next week.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
it's
go
a full day. You get lunch.
breakfast, lunch.
Yeah.
At the end, there is an actual chocolate and wine reception. There is an amazing thing.
There's a goodie bag that you get to take away.
Goodie
with
bags.
you. Yeah.
There is also a fabulous raffle and auction that they have of all these gifts. That it's stuff. I mean, last year I won. One of the musicians was offering an hour personal come to your house and play at a party.
Really?
So I won that. So I'm waiting to have a
No.
party and have her come and do that.
You better
there's-
invite me to
Oh,
that one.
you will be there, girl. You will be there. You know that. I throw decent parties in
Yes,
my
you
driveway.
do. Yes, you do.
But yeah, I mean, and the gifts are everything from spa packages to getaways to basic things. There's eyelashes. My daughter donated an eyelash package.
Okay.
She's got that. There are all kinds of different things that we have. There's a charcuterie board, a tea basket, wine, all kinds of things. And all of those things are going to be available at the WOW Forum next week, Friday, October 6th. So if you're thinking about it, you're on the fence, you know what? Don't think about it anymore. Definitely go to www.wowforum.org, sign up. Get your registration in. You could do it all online, and you will enjoy a fabulous day on Friday, October 6th through the Northwest Chamber of Commerce and the WOW Committee. And it is a day that is going to make you just laugh, cry,
Yes.
but be inspired,
Be
empowered,
inspired,
and
empowered.
absolutely.
Two important words. Those were the words. You nailed it right there. Inspired and empowered.
Yes.
Right there. Yep.
When you leave there, the WOW Forum, you feel like, wow. I always leave there like renewed, because I always feel like, wow, I never thought of that way.
Yeah.
Or, you know, this resonated with me because she was saying her story. And you get to network. This is the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
Is networking.
Yes.
With all these fabulous women, and there's times to talk, and at lunch, and they have music and all that. But it's just a great time for us all to be together. So sorry, guys. You know, it is just the Women's Day, the women of the world, www.wowforum.org. So
right.
that's where we're at. We're waiting on
I
State
think you
Representative
need to,
Michelle.
to send her a text
I'm
there.
going to have to send her a text and say, are you going to call in? So that's what I'm going to do right now while we talk about some other things. Let's see. Let me find Michelle on here. Michelle,
Now,
where are
folks
you?
out there, if you have events that you've attended this week, or you know of events coming up, please give us a call. Let us know. We'd love to showcase it or talk about it. Any upcoming events in the Northwest corner. It could be New Milford. It could be Winston, New
Northwest,
Hartford.
absolutely.
Yes.
And we want you to do that. You know, I am more than happy to take it down. Coryse, the same thing. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing your cell, but I'm going to share my cell tonight, that if anybody wants to call me directly, Karen Thomas, 860-387-1282. And you could call me with any show ideas. Maybe you want to be a guest. Maybe you have an agency.
Yep.
You have an event coming up. You are a business owner. We'll come down and feature your business. Any one of those things. And coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Who do we have?
Well,
who's our next guest?
So the one that I have, now let me look at next week. We're here. So wait, no, you were taking the third. So did you book your third?
The third, I didn't book her as yet. I'm
Okay.
hoping to book her. It's going to be an author from right here in Torrington.
Fabulous.
Believe it or not, she was mayor for the day on Juneteenth.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes, so I'm hoping to get her to come down and speak about her book.
I love it.
That she wrote
love it.
on her family's history and legacy.
Okay.
And it's called A Promise to My Mother. It's an amazing book. I have to say, I played her, I believe it was her great-great-grandmother. She produced a documentary on the book, and her great-great-grandmother gave birth 9 times, but only 1 child survived.
Oh, goodness.
And I have to tell you, playing that scene where I gave birth and stillbirth after stillbirth, I was mentally exhausted. It does hit you.
I can't.
Like,
I can't even.
it's
I can't even imagine.
acting
Not at all.
isn't just about portraying. Like, you really have to dive deep into that
Get
character.
into the character.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
it really did hit me. Like, I think I had the cameraman crying. I had
Oh, my
I had
God.
them all in tears. They were like, "Stop that! Don't do it again! Don't do it again!" But I'm hoping to get her down here next week, and then the following week,
Yes.
we're gonna have Allison Curry, who
fabulous.
her brother, rest his soul, went to high school with me. Ora Curry
Yes.
died of
yes.
cancer.
I remember
I
that.
believe that was last year. And they have the Ora Curry Foundation, and they're having it's like an Oktoberfest in his honor to raise money for the foundation. They do scholarships for, I believe, athletic
Yes,
kids
at
in
the high school.
Yeah.
I believe that. That's great. That's absolutely great. And these are some fabulous guests. And so, again, you too can be a guest on City Views if you have an event coming up, or you have published a book, or you know what, or you have something that you want to talk about, something that is meaningful to Northwest Connecticut and what's going on. We welcome you to call us. Call me, call Jacques, call Coryse, and let us know that you'd like to be a guest, and we'll go from there. And we'll get things rolling. So you could be sitting right here, who you can't see over here. But again, like the guests like we had tonight, Renee from the Northwest Connecticut Food Hub.
Yeah.
And we've got Michelle calling in. She did just text me back and said, oops. So she is going to be dialing her little fingers
She's
now.
She's
And
always busy.
Yes, she is constantly busy. So,
I have
yeah.
to tell you, I went for a walk on the bike path, and
Oh, did you?
they have the most interesting and amazing little stories that they put up as you're walking.
Really?
Yeah, Birdsley Library, I believe the Winston Library, has a little kid story that the kid they read like a page every so.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have
And
to
then,
walk with you one time. I'd love to see that.
It's really nice. And
Yeah.
then there's this whole story on Burrville and a farm that used to be up, and
Really?
this guy owned acres and acres. It's amazing. Like, the history of Torrington is just amazing, and they have a lot of this history on the bike path. So,
Yeah.
so it's a nice walk, and you learn things as you're walking. So yeah.
That's great. No, I'd love to do that. I think our friend Michelle is ready for us. So we are going to go right here, and we are going to welcome State Representative Michelle Cook.
Michelle, what's cooking?
What's cooking? Well, we had a special session day today, and then it's been constituent needs since I got out of there. So I'm sorry for my delayed call.
Not at all, not at all. I just figured I would give you a friendly reminder, and then you could just update us on all of the busy things that you've been doing and telling us what's cooking in Northwest.
Well, today we did, we had special session today, so that meant the governor called us in to do a very strict agenda on things that we needed to do, and we fixed some of the early voting concerns. We also fixed the requirement for EMS providers for epinephrine carried, because they need to do some more training and things, and we wanted to make sure that they were not out of compliance by the dates that we put in, so we extended the dates for that.
Nice.
So, and then we did the executive nomination of Nora for Supreme Court Justice. So
nice.
It was a very strict, like I said, a very strict call. And the reason why we make it very strict is if we do that and we open it up to a variety of other things, we could still be there till next Christmas. So our speaker is very good about ensuring that we make sure that the call is adhered to and we don't stray from that call, because as you could imagine, if that door opens, that's Pandora's box in a nutshell. So
yeah, some people can get quite verbose and take away, and exactly.
Right. So I had the honor today to preside over the majority of today's debate. So I was on the dais and making sure that the debate stayed civil, respectful, and on target. So
that's fabulous. That's fabulous.
So that was today. And, we have, and then it's traditional back to constituent service and ensuring that things in our community, as you know, I will be with you tomorrow.
Yes.
And Thursday. So, ensuring that our constituent service is is back to where it needs to be as well, and trying to answer emails and the like. And I do want to put it out there. I lost my entire inbox the other day. So if folks have emailed and haven't received a response, please email back. We can't figure out, but we're having some IT issues, and when you stump the IT professionals, you know it's an interesting stump. So I want to ensure that folks don't think they're being ignored. So if you haven't received a response yet, please email back. We are having some technical difficulties. So
okay, no, that's good to get out there because that's important. People sometimes think, well, so-and-so never, emailed me back, and so that's good to know. Not that you have the problems, but that they're working on it to get it back up to where it needs to be.
Well, and I think that bodes to a very broader conversation on communication, and it's interesting. So this morning I was kind of chuckling to myself when I was watching the news getting ready to leave. And as we've had the conversation on this show for the last couple of weeks about kids and screen time and all of those things, they were actually talking about limiting screen time and the different apps that are out there that a parent could hook onto their child's screen, whether it be an iPad or an iPhone or what have you, to literally shut the screen off after a certain amount of allotted time on the screen and say, you need to step away from the screen for a while. And I think that that's very interesting after our conversations and then my national conversations that we had about, children and screen time and development and what we're actually looking to do.
Michelle, I have to tell you, I surprised myself, and I'm proud of myself. This past weekend on Sunday, my 13-year-old had one of his friends sleep over Saturday night. And 9 o'clock in the morning, they both woke up and they wanted to go right to playing on the video games. And I said, no video games, go outside. They're both robotics kids. They're in the robotics teams at St. John Paul the Great Academy. And my son, he got a drone for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
And I said, why don't you two robotic kids go figure out how to set this drone up?
Yeah.
They spent hours trying to figure out how to set that up. And then after that, thank goodness, I had signed up early in the summer for the free bowling for kids this summer.
Yep.
And
right.
It was such a rainy day. I said, all right, Pat, let's pack it up. We're going bowling.
Yeah.
And we went an entire day with no screen time.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
And I find that they're more focused.
Right.
Yes.
Right, and engaging, because you can actually, start a conversation or just share a laugh and experience, which you might often lose if, and look, I'm going to say it too, like we've all as adults been engulfed in our phones as well, right?
Yeah.
And I think that we forget that we say, hey, look, you know what, do as I say, kind of not as I do, and I believe that we all need to focus on that a little bit and be a little bit more present, because as we do get swallowed into our world, I try to check some of it at the door and not bring it into the house, but sometimes it just follows you by happenstance.
I agree, and sometimes it's inexcusable when you really should be focusing on family time. And I know I'm guilty of it. If you were to ask my husband, he would say she has the phone growing out of her ear, and it's in front of me, answering emails at 7, 8 o'clock at night, and this person called, and it's you really have to focus on making that happen. So bravo to you, Coryse.
Yes, and it felt great.
Yeah, I think
it felt
awesome.
really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So
And did he have, really quick question though to follow that up, did he even comment on it by the end of the day?
He had fun, and honestly, the ride home we went bowling at Spare Time in Bristol, and the ride home he passed out in the car.
I love it.
He was exhausted from having fun and not being on the screen.
I love it.
And that's out of sight, out of mind,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. So what else? What else going on before we close with you? Tell us.
Well, I was just going to say. Go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
We were going to. We were talking about the WOW Forum, and I know we're going to miss you there this year, which is coming up. But what else is going on that you could share with us on your end?
Yes, I'm very sorry that I am missing, and I am in this regard. I'm going to do as I say and do as I do. And my granddaughter is actually going to be visiting from out of state, and so I'm taking that weekend as best as my ability and spending as much time with her as possible, because as we know, that is precious time.
Yes.
And she will be 2 on the 30th of this month. So, we will be in the middle of entertaining a 2-year-old. So I, like your son there, will be sleeping very good at the end of the night. But speaking of children and all of the things that we seem to have a really good conversation about, October 10th, I am bringing the Office of Early Childhood Commissioner to town.
Oh.
And so they have done a around-the-state blue ribbon panel set of meetings, and I said, I really can't support something until we hear from folks in our neck of the woods. So the Children's Museum, Kids Play, has been kind enough to open their doors on a Tuesday night when they're traditionally closed and allowing folks to come in and do kind of a roundtable conversation about what early childhood education and some of child care needs and things are, and let them hear your voice. And then that way we can take all of that back and then continue to craft the legislation of which we've been working on now gradually for year after year after year. So the commissioner will be here. Some of the panel, which is a host of folks, will also be here. I'm not sure which ones will or will not be able to make it, but it'll be at 6:30 on Tuesday night, October 10th, at Kids Play Museum. The flyer hasn't gone out yet because we just got final confirmation this afternoon. So it's hot off the press, but I want to be able to share it now, and then we'll continue to share it. If anybody has questions, please call, email, text, or what have you. I'm happy to give whatever information is necessary, but we would love to have a good showing, and that's not just for Torrington folks. That is for the entire northwest corner. I want to be able to give people the opportunity to voice their opinions, concerns, compliments, and the like about how early childhood education, preschool, daycare, and the like is happening in your neck of the woods, or isn't, and how can we better that?
That sounds amazing, but I do have to bring up one more thing before we let you go, Michelle. Where will you be Saturday night? Because I understand that you'll be receiving an award.
Well, Saturday night, thank you for that. And, well, look, you all know me good enough to know that I do never boast about myself.
No,
so,
but that's why I'm bringing it up.
Yep, you're putting me on the spot, and if I looked in the mirror, I'm probably blushing right about now. So, I have been honored to be apparently the first recipient from 5 Points Art Gallery on an Advocate of Arts and Culture Award. I have not seen the invitation, so I don't know what it says. I was just asked to be there so I could be honored, and I'm ecstatic about that. In working with 5 Points to be able to get them from Water Street to University Drive, help them, acquire the old Yukon campus and turn it into something that is just internationally known.
Yes.
Obviously, the vision of Judy and her incredible staff, but being able to help them partner with the state and get that campus and the ongoing renovations for what, Judy has envisioned for me is like an international arts stop right here in Torrington. So I am humbly honored to receive the award on Saturday night. I was shocked when I got asked if I would receive it. And again, like I said, you could probably hear it in my voice. It's just one of those things. You do this job because you love it. You try to help people, not necessarily because you expect something on the end of it. And so I'm honored to receive it. So thank you for that.
Well,
Very nice.
I saw the invitation, and there's a beautiful photo of you on there with a blurb, and it's all over social media. So I want to be the first to congratulate you on that because it certainly is well deserved.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. So, if y'all are out and about, come and visit us at University Drive on Saturday night. I'm not sure what we're going to expect, but I will be there.
It'll be a great night.
That's fabulous. Well, again, thank you for joining us, Michelle. Again, this was State Representative Michelle Cook joining us live on City Views, giving us the up-to-date information on everything happening in Northwest Connecticut. We want to thank you, and we'll speak with you again next week.
Excellent. I will see you for pet food giveaway, clothing giveaway, and thank you for all the great work that you do. And I wanted to just give a shout out for the incredible golf tournament dinner, and that we were able to have, and all of the supporters from this viewing area and beyond that made our first golf tournament, although we did not play golf, actually happen and support our food bank right here and the good work that you all do. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for your assistance with that, too. So I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
You as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye. So that leaves
right.
us with about 4 minutes left on our show.
I'll put my spectacles back on and thank our city
You
sponsors
do that.
again.
Thank those sponsors and get them rolling.
Let's go right back into it. Toth Insurance Agency, 1151 East Main Street, Torrington. Better protection, better value. 860-496-7771. Toth, INS at optonline.net. Next, we have Mel Brickman and Health Markets, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington. Better call Mel.
Oh, I missed it. Okay, wait, you got to do that again. Ready? Okay.
So next we have Mel Brickman and Health Markets, 16 McDermott Ave, Suite 1, Torrington. Better call Mel. 860-307-1128. And his email is healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins.
Beautiful.
We have Brooks, Todd, and McNeil Insurance, 69 Water Street, Torrington. Keeping an eye on your insurance needs since 1839. 860-598-8753. And their email address is brookstoddmcneil.com. And lastly, we have Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105, Torrington. Pediatric care for over 50 years. 860-482-8177. And his email is torringtonpediatrics.com. Again, we thank all of our sponsors for sponsoring such a great show and allowing us to bring news and area happenings to all of you out there in Viewerland.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think that it was kind of an iconic moment this evening for us women to take over.
It was.
And the only male that we brought on was Jacques. He had to make sure we were doing good in his live event. But we had a woman guest, and then we have our woman state rep, and you and I. So let's just say here's to girl power. Here you go. Clink.
Girl power.
Okay. And, yeah, so it was a great evening, and
was.
this was fun. But I do look forward, I will say this, don't you look forward to having Kareem and Jacques back next week?
I do.
I mean, we're going to miss them. And I will be out next week because...
You're leaving me again.
Oh, no. So I've decided that on the first of the month, the first Tuesday of every month is my board meetings at the food bank.
Oh.
And we tried to get a different day, and we tried to get a different time, and it just, nothing was working. So I do have to take off the first Tuesday of every City Views. So I will not be here next week, but I will be here second, third, and fourth weeks every month. So you guys will do absolutely perfect without me. So it's with that we would like to thank, again, not only our sponsors, but everybody, our viewing audience. And again, if you have any ideas or would like to be a guest, please contact any one of us. And we want to just thank you so much for watching City Views with Karen Thomas, Executive Director, Friendly Hands Food Bank, and
Coryse Villarouel, a human rights consultant.
And that's our show. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. See you next week.
Good night.
City Views, City Views, City Views. City Views, City Views.